welcome back. We actually have a game right now. It's gonna be crazy. And I'm here with Dreamboat. And good old Corn Pops even was in here just a second ago, but Azazel is our cameraman. And I believe we're gonna actually cast TF2 right now. I'll let Dreamboat run you down on what we missed due to computer malfunction.
Yeah, I am hesitant to say that we have a map here just because, well, we got to about this point last time and it stopped working, but so far so good. And that's a step in the right direction. In the time that we missed, though, we did miss Gully Wash. That was map 1. That was Ascent taking that map. That's actually their first victory against SVIFT this season. They took it by a score of 5-3. So it's a start, They're pushing things in the right direction. If you're an Ascent fan, that's what you want to see. The change from Patty to Mela is clearly working out so far for them. And we'll see if they can carry it through as we are on map 2, Metalworks.
And I will mention, you asked me for Preds. That was not live. This was in our private chat. And I said it'd be 5-3. I had the teams wrong. So, so far I'm on. So my prediction official for Metalworks was 4-2. I may also have the teams wrong for that. But this will be a big one. Have they played each other on Metalworks yet?
They probably scrimmed on it, but their matches were Sunshine and Granary, and then we had Gully was the first map of the series. So far, no Metalworks, especially since it wasn't played at Rewind.
LAN. It wasn't at LAN. So this will be brand new stuff. Now, I do remember Ascent does have Mela, Nursey, and Badonsky, who have been on the team forever. They used to pick this map a lot in the playoffs. For whatever reason. I don't know that they ever did great on it, but it was their pick. They felt good. So, being one up, historically they picked this map. That may be good for Ascent.
Yeah, and I mean they did have varying degrees of success, like you mentioned before. I can think of a certain time where I think Clockwork ran Spy to mid against them because his team was rolling so heavily. But there was also the other side as well. They had some good wins, and I think, this probably favors them, but I'm really not too sure.
Yeah, Metalworks is an odd map in the way that it plays. You've got your sort of core maps that favor a certain style of play. Your Snakewater, Gully Wash, Badlands, etc. They all the mids kind of play out the same, and they have a similar flow. And Metalworks kind of stands apart. It has a little bit of a different flavor to it. Kind of like Sunshine, too. Sunshine favors passive play a lot more. I think Metalworks, because of its tight corners, it favors wacky surprise plays a lot more than other maps do. And the key is you just got to be willing to take the risk. And I think that'll be something interesting to see out of SVIFT. Since they're one down, if they lose this game, they're playing Velocity in the loser bracket. So you got to have that in the back of your mind. Try to recover. Thankfully for them, the time between games has been kind of long. So one of two things are going to happen there, Dreamboat. Is either you're going to get down on yourselves, and this map is going to go quickly to Ascent, or you rally the troops and you try to get it back together here on Metalworks.
Yeah, and I mean, the other thing with Metalworks and kind of those goofy plays as well is with SVIFT backs against the wall, they might be too scared to try some of the things that work well in their arsenal. It'll be really interesting to see where things kind of come out. I can think, especially with this last, it's not the easiest one to push, that some teams in the past have been known to do some goofy plays. I can think of a couple engineer plays, setting up a teleporter just so that your sacks aren't completely awful. It's things that kind of come out here.
Nursey asks a valid question in chat. Who is the better sniper, Corsa or me? Bot mode said Showstopper.
I mean, Showstopper is the best player in the world on everything. I think everybody knows that. So I'm not surprised he went with the Showstopper.
But yeah, and the reason I changed subjects so quickly is because I saw the last dot already, and here we go. It's gonna be TF2. It's real Dreamboat.
And we have both crashed, and the entire world has died. This game is not happening. ESEA does not let it happen.
I'm good.
No, it is good. We are good. We have the green text. That's right. For the first time in what feels like weeks, we have a Marxist catch here. ESEA playoffs, Ascent versus Swift, and a map 2 into this first mid. Marxist, take me away.
Alright, so we're going to go up here. Let's see. We have Ascent all over the point. They're not even out here yet on Swift. That is a scary situation there. But Ascent is going to have Marmaloo diving in and taking a lot of damage and dying. Not getting a lot done. Really only Amos is the only player beat up, and you really don't care if he lives or dies. If you're over there on Swift. He will finally die, but they have pushed them all the way out in Ascent. No other frags coming down. I don't know. I would like to have an explanation for that to make myself feel better, but it just isn't coming, Dreamboat. They had positioning, they had everything, and then they just lost.
Well, and the one little solace that they can take away is they find a couple pursuing kills. They take out High Five, take out Laz, and Nursey live. So 2-man advantage, even Ubers. They would actually elect to try and move in on mid, and that's exactly what they're doing. Taking up some ground and flank right now. Course has done a good job getting space, but he needs the troops to start to arrive. Bot mode might find himself with a nice 1v1 on Marmaloo if he's lucky. And it looks like Ascent are going to have to back off. They wanted to try with that advantage, just not able to make it work.
Yeah, they did have 2 players, but they were kind of spread out as they were coming in. You're backing out of mid and trying to reorganize yourselves and then push back in, and that's usually pretty tough. So now we're going to see some kind of a sack play probably from SVIFT. Having mid, they've got that respawn advantage. So they can throw a player in here and not really care one way or the other whether it succeeds or not. I actually really favor straight pushes on this, but they are running that sack with Laz, and they get the force. So that will be Nursey pop an Uber. Usually Nursey is not one to pop it off without reason, so probably they're going to have to fix their defense here, Dreamboat.
Curious to see if Marmaloo and Mela manage to combine to kind of get a force coming into the second point, because that's really the last thing that Zilly wants to do is pop it off and let Nursey escape. They are moving in through flank right now, trying to get some pressure in. They're on a couple of rockets, and they're going to get space. They actually drop bot mode, though, and that's not ideal, especially since Slemish and Marmaloo are in behind. The Uber has been popped off on a second here. Nursey should escape. I don't think they're going to find anything. And now there's a back cap happening on mid. This is a very interesting situation for Swift to be in, and not one that they want to be in at all, as they're now getting mulched by the Badonsky demo. He's done a lot of damage. Aim will go down, and they're pinching Swift right now. They need to start finding some kills, but instead it should be a clean wipe. It's just Yite, and he will finally be taken out. What an absolute nightmare, and a brilliant heads-up play by 2 of the Ascent players.
Yeah, so this is a good life lesson as well as TF2 now that I'm an old man. Sometimes you make a mistake. And that was when they lost bot mode there. You'll make a mistake, and your reaction is to try and fix it as fast as you can. So they popped Uber, which was another mistake. And then they chased with the Uber down the far right side of this lobby area that now we're watching Ascent control, which gave up their entire flank, which was another mistake. And so if you overcorrect, you just start piling mistakes on, and now you're on your own last, just pushed by an Uber and probably going to lose around.
The sentry has been taken out. Zilly's trying to kite, trying to stay alive, and the kills are actually coming in for Swift. They've found 3 of them. Nursey's just going to back out, try and keep her life. Zilly has grabbed an Uber advantage. Small solace for Ascent that they get to keep Nursey, but it was not an ideal push at all, and it looked good how early they got the sentry.
Yeah, and well, they had everything in their favor, which is the second time has failed to capitalize on that. But we'll see. They're going for the alley push. Typically, you see this sort of initiated by a demo, but they're going in with the scout hard, and they're going to pop Uber. They're trying to get Badonsky here, and they will succeed, but they're going to trade out aim in exchange, but I think that's a trade they're willing to make. Now they need to stack this up real quick. Slemish is on that sniper. Corsa's the one that everybody's afraid of, but Slemnish still really good. Gonna get bombed into the dirt, though. They turn Slemnish into tiny little specks there. And they'll keep rolling here, Dreamboat.
Well, one of the things interesting is Corsa is once again backcapping mid out of this as this push comes in. It seems to be Ascent's nameplay right now is just to try and get behind and put pressure. This time, though, Swift, they are smarter. They're going to fall back. They're going to pick off Corsa before they elect to push into second.
Well, yeah, and they have huge Uber disadvantage, too. And that is a scenario that they're pushing in off of player advantage there, and then the back cap comes, which slows them down a little bit. I like that, but ultimately, unless they really get baited by Ascent here, there's not a lot going to happen. Ooh, a big bomb's coming in. They're going to go for the sack right now. He's going to run into a bunch of players, but nothing's going to happen. That was neat timing from Laz. I like that.
Well, and it has bought time for Silly to get that Uber that was on that huge disadvantage, as you'd mentioned. And now, with that situation, Ascent is still trying to push into this. They should know that it is now even Uber zone. They need to be a lot more careful.
Yeah, now it's all evened out. We'll see. The lobby area on this map is really hard to push. So unless you make a big life mistake, like walking into this sticky trap over the exit door, which they've now cleared, you're not really going to have too many viable options there. Nice pipe, though, on the Yite. Badonsky's just kind of having his way with things right now, but he'll eventually have to reload and give up that door. We'll see. It looks like they're trying to get around this left side. This is the push that I like on this map, and they're going in deep, but no, never again. But they've snuck bot mode in behind. He's right on Nursey right now. Not going to be able to get the frag. Nursey holds on to it with about 60-ish health. Does not panic, maintains composure.
It would have been perfect if Laz had just connected one rocket. That might have been a drop, but instead we have the push coming in. Marmalou getting absolutely mulched. Jumping into high five in bot mode, that's kind of a scary thing to do.
Yeah, never gonna work out for you. And looks like we're getting ready. Nope, never mind. I got excited that we were gonna. They're going hard left. There are 4 players here. They're bombing, aiming really deep, but no one's there to support him, and he just gets destroyed. And I guess that was probably just another sack. But if you'd have actually given him a little bit there, he had lost several players into lobby Dreamboat. I think they could have translated that into something.
Yeah, they just didn't do a good enough job supporting, and I do like what Ascent tried to do. They tried to catch a couple players in lobby on the good counter push. It's one of the things that I've started to notice here that Ascent are doing quite well is that they're taking a lot of space that a lot of teams wouldn't. They may not gamble on going all the way deep into lobby there. They are doing it. Once again, Laz is going deep. He's got Badonsky popped up. He's going to live. Again, no real support for him there. He tried.
Yeah, they're just throwing sacks here because they've got mid. There's not a lot. And Ascent tried to push lower and got destroyed. Nobody died, but they did not have much health left after that peak. So, I don't know really what's going to happen here. We're just going to keep seeing this cycle. Well, actually, Laz and... Wow! Laz and bot mode are going to break the cycle right here, they decided. So Dreamboat, you know how I said about risky plays?
Oh, yes. And I love this play, to be honest with you, because as soon as bot mode starts taking shots, everybody stops paying attention to the sniper. They won't necessarily expect the next play from Laz. It's a really, nice way to kind of open up a little bit more space and cause an even bigger distraction without peaking as telegraphed as many teams do. We'll see if it manages to work out, though. Laz has gone super deep on this one as he's found himself in position.
Yeah, and meanwhile, we had sniper headshots come down, a lot of damage. Well, he's gonna die now, and High Five is gonna clear out Slemnish. We've got a demo staff there. Laz is gonna try to make the great escape. He's not taking damage. He is out. Master Spy, in and out quickly, gets a good frag. The Ubers are exchanged over on the side of the point. Mela's Uber is the superior Uber, though, and he's standing tall. And now, whoa, he's gonna get blasted. Now this guy destroyed. that Mela got dragged there, but I don't think it's gonna matter because all of a sudden it's killing everybody else. So temporary embarrassment for Mela, but victory for the team.
And a good job by Corsa and Slemnish there. They had bot mode and high five run at both of them. Bot mode managed to find one of the two scouts, but a good job keeping their med alive, staying protected. That was really all Swift was trying to do at the end there, is just sell out, try and get Nursey, because when you've dropped your medic, you need to do something to try and rectify the Uber disadvantage. A solid effort by the scouts, but not meant to be.
Indeed. So now we're kind of in a similar situation, except Nursey's got that big Uber. So we're going to have a replay of the last 5 minutes of our lives for another 6 seconds or so, and then we're going to see a push. Unless something big happens, and Badonsky's going to get domed by bot mode. Of course, it's the sniper player, but we're seeing it come out from all sorts of players tonight. But unfortunately, Swift, they're going to overstay their welcome. I think with that demo frag on Badonsky, they thought maybe that would have forked the push then and there, and it didn't. So then they lost both their soldiers. So Ascent now maintain the initiative, but Zilly's got Uber. They may want to push out here. I've lost a playoff match doing this very play, Dreamboat. How do you think it's going to play out?
It's always scary trying to walk out of this last. They've done a good job sussing out Marmaloo, and now the Uber's popped forward, trying to get out here. They need to find Nursey. If they don't get this, this is a nightmare scenario. They've at least found Slemnish. They've got another kill. Marmaloo's trying to back off. He might trade out there. Okay, 2 picks. They can make this work. But there is still full ad right now on Nursey, and the re-aggression from Ascent is going to start to come forth here. The Uber's popped off right in onto Corsa. He's managed to find 1 kill, and all of these players on Swift are pinched out here in alleyway. It's be an absolutely dire situation. They'll find high five. Bombo trying to stay alive, trying to do what he can with his med here as the soldiers have flown forth. Nursey staying alive at the very end there somehow, and the frags that come in. Bombo picks out 3 of them. He's still fragging out here, trying to find Badonsky, and it looks like Bombo is going to go on the hero play to make this work.
Yeah. And the cavalry is going to arrive in the form of respawns, really. And Marmaloo's not going to escape. There was an absolutely huge shot from Yite there. I don't know if our camera caught it, because we're on free cam over here in Casterland. Had he not hit that Mela, gets big frag and ends the round. So that was one of those times. It may not have been a fancy air shot, but it did the job. Now we've got a scout Uber chasing Nursey, but it gets juggled away. We're gonna see about a 40% Uber disad. Corsa is gonna die as well. AIM will trade out eventually for Slemnick, but their aggression keeps coming. They're gonna try to take positioning, and there's no health on Ascent. Swift not capping the point. They want that Badonsky pick.
Yeah,
but now
Nursey is
it rolls
just
to last.
out. It's just Nursey. Spawns will come in. But there's already the demo trying to trap up forwards here. Slemnish needs to go out massive with Corsa to try and stay alive. Slemnish gets airshot by Lad, and they should be round 1. In fact, they will be. Swift steal that round from Ascent.
Yeah, Swift came back on the march. They were my favorites to win this thing. We do see a 15-minute first round, so I'm feeling confident about my 4-2. But a back and forth round, lots of stalemate play there. But the last mid though, Dreamboat, I'll give you this one.
Yeah, we are into this mid. They are just taking position right now, throwing some spam about. The bombs should be coming forth a little bit. So here comes AIM, just getting position on the point, trying to bait any of Ascent forward. And the fact they've grabbed some great positioning. Marmaloo's going so very deep. He's not going to accomplish much there. Laz will be traded very quickly as well. So this is still an even fight, but the health is much better on Swift right now. They should win this. Mela might be able to get onto Zilly here. He throws one rocket, another one so close. Not able to find that kill though, and Ascent are going to fall back, keeping their medic alive.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing. When lower level meds tend to just spam their movement keys. Higher level meds tend to try to predict where the shot's going to come. Zilly actually strafed away from his team in thinking that Soldier would go for max damage and did not and ended up getting a pretty big shot on Zilly that just barely missed. Ubers are exchanged here, but not a lot happening so far. The re-aggression comes in from SVIFT. They have a lot of positional advantage. They can't get the kill on Badonsky because of geography. Finally, scatter shots come in and end that, and Corsa just can't escape at all. And SVIFT now rolling again. Nursey and Sunnish are really all that stand between them and another round loss. Sunnish is trying to delay as long as he can. It's not going to happen, Dreamboat. They're done.
That's kind of the way it always seems to go in TF2, isn't it, Marxist? You have this ridiculous, like, 15-minute first round. It feels like it's going to take forever. And then you just get the second round that takes about 2 minutes.
Yeah, if I were on Ascent, if I were whoever the main caller is on Ascent right now, I would be really worried about our mids.
Yeah, I mean, they seem to be getting so much better positioning and see if they can take it. They are going to try and finally maybe win their first mid in this game. It's going to be a big Marmaloo bomb getting raided on Zilly early. That's huge. Zilly will fall. Beautiful job by both Melee and Marmaloo to get that kill, and now they need to keep Nursey alive. They've lost a couple players here so far. Done a good job getting some of the health down, but it looks like they're still going to lose this one unless Corsa can go massive. He's getting healed up by Nursey. It's just going to be Nursey and Corsa, and Yikes right there trying to take away Nursey's life. Corsa's going to fall. Nursey lives low and should be able to link up with a player here. So they lost the mid, but not all is lost. They have Uberad out of this.
Yeah, and there is so much SVIFT, but not a lot of help just running around. But they wanted that med frag. That felt, again, that was Ascent's minds are blown right now. That a super early dive onto your med from the roamer, as opposed to any of the players with guns, is an admission of defeat. You don't know what to do anymore, so you're just gonna try to med trade, and that's if I was Zilly, I feel really confident about winning this match now.
Yeah, we do have the Ubers popped out here. They dropped Corsa into a sticky trap early in the push, and this Uber's not going to be able to find anything. This should be a mulching once again. Ascent are in a lot of trouble right now. They are going to find one kill, but Zilly will live. That's going to be Uber advantage once again for SVIFT, and they might actually find a lot more of this. They could even get Nursey, but Podonsky hits a nice pipe, doing what he can to force the players away and keep his med safe. Podonsky's been doing it for years and showing it there with those pipes.
Indeed, Badonsky's pipes Badonsky himself may have changed. Ascent may have changed. His pipes, they're still there. They just keep giving and giving. So we'll see now. Uber advantage push, but oh no, the drop! That's it. So yeah, don't get too excited when you're winning. Otherwise, all of your advantages will go away. That's contrary to Ascent's pushes that were just busts. That one never even got off the ground. It flipped over on the runway.
Oh no, there's a scout going for last, but that's going to be bot mode picked off by Marmaloo. It's a fight to aim, but they've at least capped second, and now they know there's a second player behind. Clean up that kill, so there's man advantage right now for Ascent with that full Uber advantage that they possess to try and move into mid. Slemnish is going to get mulched by Yite. Lad's doing a good job getting the demo pick. And once again, SVIFT, they're just winning these DM fights. They get the force off. Zilly's going to escape. And again, just sloppy plays from Ascent right now every time they push in the mid.
Yeah, well, a lot of their pushes just aren't going right. They end up sort of stratified, where there's a couple players in the front who get just destroyed by 6 people, and then a lot of other people running around not doing a whole lot. And by the time that other category is involved, the first 1 or 2 into the fight are dead. And that makes life really hard. You can't gain traction that way. And now we're back with Zilly, full Uber advantage, 2 players alive. We've seen this before. Will they drop in a sticky trap again? Have they learned to check doors?
Well, they do get 1 kill with the stickies. Podonsky doing that, but the Uber is popped in here trying to get in on Nursey. They're going to find that kill very quickly. There is no off-classing really to try and delay this. Course has come up super late on Heavy, but again, the kill's actually going so far both ways. We can find a few more here if SVIFT want to win this fight. But because they do get Nursey, they're just going to back up and reset with that Uber advantage that they're going to maintain.
Yeah, when somebody says, I'm buying, yo, Dreamboat, I'm buying you lunch. Oh, never mind. spot mode though. Oh, he gets destroyed. So there we go. Mela though, Mela remembers how to play the soldier class. He's diving in now. He's feeling himself, but then he dies. And then I5's gonna get some frag. So we had a moment there where I got excited for Mela, but I think it's ended now, and we're gonna end up back in a stalemate of a zone. Badonsky's gonna catch in Zilly. They overstayed their welcome. It got awkward, and now their social lives are ruined, and they've lost second.
And that was on the back of Slemnish. He hit 6 straight meat shots. I swear he did not miss one. He got 3 straight kills there, nice and easy. Some of them were very healthy players. Beautiful play by Slemnish, allowing Ascent to just mulch them, especially with the help of Badonsky.
Yeah, now they're just trying to delay. There is going to be a player sack here in Labs, but I think that's it. Whoa, he gets the force. There we go. I'm not used to seeing this out of Mercy. I don't know if you have a contrary input here, Dreamboat, but it feels like Nursey's having to pop a lot more than normal in these sort of gimme pushes.
Well, Marmalou, he popped Silly up, tried to get the force back the other way, or trying to get the pick, I should say. This is a good job, and it looks like Laz will go down as well to Corsa. Corsa missing the first shot. He's going to overstay his welcome. Should go down, but Slemgod trying to hit what he can. It's now just Ascent feeding players into the second point, and I think they're going to smarten up and back off because they don't even have Uber ad. They're dis-ad right now.
Well, Marmalou will be back. That's not an ideal player to have back, because when he arrives, he won't have crit seals. He will be down health from having to rocket jump. Yaito, caught way out, standing on the point, starts to take position. Whoa, more players out of position. The Uber is going to be popped for both teams. And we're going to see the great chase now. Aim is going to be given up. Med under threat here. Silly with very little help. 25, in fact. But is going to make it out. Runs out the side. They're hopping away. They're going with the Mario movement tactics there. And we're going to see maybe a second fight here. It's all on Yike. And he's going to rock Badonsky's world. Says, step aside, old man. I can do this now. And they still lose the point. No! Jack gets overconfident, but there is a double flank coming from below. I think they're going to commit to this.
And they're just killing everybody. Everybody has fallen on Swift now. It's just 3 people up on last. It's basically fed to Ascent, gifted those kills, but the Uber is up here. The exchange is going to come in. This is going to buy time for a couple quick spawns to come in. However, they need to find some kills on these un-Ubered players. Otherwise, this should, once again, still be a mulching for Ascent as long as they focus, fire well. Silly hitting some nice arrows, keeping players alive. Might go down here. Taylor finds the kill on Yikes, but it doesn't matter. They cap the point despite all those players living, and that is going to be a first round for Ascent. Brought it back to 2-1, and Swift trying to hang on, trying to push this to map 3. There's 7 minutes left, Marxist.
Yeah, and it's still 2-1. Swift, though, I wouldn't lose confidence. They've had great mids so far. You had a botched round where you made a lot of mistakes, but you still got your mids. They're still going okay, so we'll see how this one is going to go down. Thunder's catch the point. Marmalou is bombing in hard. Goes right to the demo. Does end up sort of trading out for the frag, but the big bomb comes in now from Aim, and he's going to secure a ton of damage. Ascent got really boosted up there, and now if the frags come down, yeah, there it is. That's going to be the wipe. Excellent. Swift's mids are on point, Dreamboat.
They're absolutely mental right now. They are seemingly getting all the kills they need. Even when they don't get the kills, they just get gifted this positioning. You know, even on the run around, the one mid, I think they didn't have good positioning. They still out-fragged Ascent. There was nothing they could do wrong on these mid fights. Swift are looking so strong. And that once again sets them up to a last hold. There's going to be the sentry going up right now for Marmalou. Slemnish is on the sniper class. So there's a bit of resistance that's going to be put up here trying to deal with Zilly's Uber.
Yeah, Ascent on mid are a 4th grader trying high school math right now. They just don't get it. But in comes the Uber. There is a level 3 gun. It's a full-grown big boy over there, and it is finally going to fall, but nothing comes from the Uber as a result. And now we have a positional fight. Marmalu's going to try to change it up. Not going to happen, but SVIFT are falling enough over on the side. They've got to just hightail it out of here. Again, they easily win mid, and then are just totally foiled on last.
Yeah, credit where it's due. Ascent's last bullets have actually been good in a lot of these situations. Just, you know, despite dropping those 2 rounds, they've been very resilient in that position. And now they're going to be coming right back into mid right now. Nursey eats the rocket, has to pop. Again, really one of these early pops from Nursey. Does feel out of character.
Well, Nursey actually left her feet there. And the #1 rule of medic here is you don't want to jump unnecessarily. Because you're below, Nursey's dead now. So, and there was a huge air shot there. That one coming by way of aim. Marmalu there is coming around. He's just running. Marmalu rocket jumps all the way from second just to peace out. So, not even an attempt to deal damage. Just gets out of there. But yeah, when you jump in TF2, you have some air control, but not a lot. And so if you leave your feet while you're trying to dodge, you're at a disadvantage unless you're playing scout, because your movement becomes much more predictable. And that's all that. Wow, aim gets sniped by Corsa. The man, the myth, the legend is on sniper. But yeah, just to finish my point. If you're playing not scout and you're trying to dodge, jumping is in the bad choice category. And that's what happened back there. But we'll see. Can Corsa continue the legend?
Yeah, I mean, he's trying to do what he can here. It's actually going to be Bidonsky finding that kill on the high 5. It was by way of a sticky trap. Now, actually, with that, there's a lot of pressure coming in from Ascent. They realize that the clock is down. They need to start doing something to try and get through here. And instead, they're just going to drop Marmalu, so this is going to be difficult for them to push out.
Yeah, and Marmalu is a good soldier player, and I don't know that we really see him as a huge off-classer in any way, so I don't think that's a huge loss there. He is checking. Or coming out. Is he? No, he's just checking right now. So it's all on high 5 really to make something happen, and he's sitting at the shutter door, and Sumnish is gonna give Laz the what's for, and high 5 is gonna back out seed positioning, try and get headshots onto Mela. Charging these up, but Donsky is peeking him super hard right now. And high 5 not having a lot of success, getting bullied out by splash damage.
And this has bought a lot of room for Sumnish to push up. He's actually going to fall back. Interesting situation with Ascent, knowing that the clock's not particularly high and they're down quite a few rounds to kind of cede that much space. You feel like they need to just kind of try and press the issue. See if they can get Sumnish to get some kind of a kill here, but instead they're waiting for high 5 to try and, you know, overextend on sniper, and really they're just not being gifted any kind of peek.
You know, I would normally agree with you, Dreamboat, if we were in the second half. If I am Ascent, we're just gonna try to hold on for dear life here. SVIFT have shown they're not great at pushing last.
I'll be honest with you, I have been casting so much Australian TF2 that I forgot there was a second half.
Yeah, there's a second half. So, you hold on for dear life as Ascent. Get to halftime and fix your mids. Don't risk anything until that time. You're only down 1 round. It's not a huge problem. You can get 1 round in 3 minutes. You've got 30. And yeah, so here we go. We're doing a great job of just holding on. Hold on. It's like, you know, when I was a kid, a lot of theme park rides didn't have seatbelts and stuff. And you were just expected to hold on. And, oh, they lose Radomski, though. They failed. They flew out of the Viking longship and their meta's exposed.
and Nursey pops as well, just trying to keep Corsa alive, and that's not even going to work out as Ubers pop back the other way. They're getting straight forward, trying to get in. They're just going to cap this out, or at least they should be able to. Slemnish is spawned. It's an NG Marmaloo trying to do what he can. Badowski's here too, but it is all going to be for not a third round for Swift.
And that's why we have seatbelts in those things now, Dreamboat. So everything was going great. Operation Don't Lose was in full effect. And then I guess Ascent just decided that they like to live dangerously, and they got punished for it almost at the end of the half. Their time in purgatory was almost up. And then they decided to just try and do that little bit of extra when they didn't need to.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, you got to give them credit. Like, they got a couple quick picks there. They had a lot of space that they can work with. You can understand why they wanted to go a little bit more forward. But then they bled Badonsky. And rather than doing the smart thing, which is, oh my god, we dropped Badonsky, let's immediately bail out, they instead decided to have Mela try and take an exchange. And that exchange... well, he couldn't go anywhere with that exchange, and it was just a very unfortunate situation for him. Now you're sitting with, you know, the other team has Uber, we don't. We're down players. It's just going to be a roll. So just a little bit of a mistake overstaying their welcome and wasting their Uber there, I feel.
Yeah, that's the exchange out of last already to begin with never works. You don't want to do that with your life unless you know the other team has absolutely zero off-classers. And will just never be able to push you if they don't have Uber at all. So then you do that, you do the exchange and just run away. That wasn't ever the intention from Ascent. So I imagine this is going to be a longer halftime. Ascent need to have a meeting with the chalkboard and John Madden and a lot of other people and figure out why it is that two players on their mids in particular are so deep and are not being supported at all by their teammates. Like, Marmaloo has had some good distraction bombs, but no one ever does anything to support him. The first mid, they were out at mid like 4 seconds in advance, and nobody, that didn't matter at all. Wow, they actually, apparently, the word of God has come down to Ascent, and they just know what to do now. So we'll see. Or maybe they've given up. Have they just decided that Metalworks isn't their thing, and we're going to go to third? A third map.
Mela always felt, you know, Product was a very strong map for them, Viaduct, whatever you want to call it. So maybe that's the case as we have this next mid. We'll see if they have changed it up whatsoever. So far, it's not looking like that as they've seeded a ton of positioning. They're just eating the same spam. And now the pressure's coming in from Swift. Here come the delayed bombs. Mela trying to do anything, really. Marmaloo's gone in behind. And the health is actually a little bit worse on Swift. However, the man advantage is there. And now they pick off Nursey, who gets launched sky high by aim. And this should be another Swift mid.
Yeah, well, I don't know. They're trying to turn it around. No, it's not going to happen. I had great faith maybe that something magical would happen, but it did not. And Swift get this mid. And you're going to run into that in this game sometimes where this... And I honestly believe this may come down to scrimming somewhat. SVIFT have super strong mids. So they've had some sort of a game where their mids just didn't go right. But they don't get last pushing at all. So they've really worked on their mids, but the last pushes just aren't there. Otherwise, this game would already probably be over. They're going to push hard right now. High Five is going to try to cause chaos, but that's not enough. Pistol shots are not going to kill 6 people, and they've essentially ceded Uber advantage to Nursey. That may be going for the reverse pick, though. Do you think are they meta-ing Nursey?
See, the Uber is actually popping in super early out from Nursey. I don't think they should have any chance of getting Zilly here. They managed to find Yite. That is a big pick on the demo. Labs is also in behind on the point. He's found Slemnish, and now the mulch with High Five has come in. Nursey is going to die here. Let's see if to be all but a wipe. It's just Marmaloo alive. I don't think he has any hope in hell of this. And they didn't even cap second. It's just going to be high five running on the point. That's a round. Swift. Nice and easy.
That's a download of Ascent.txt. Like, Ascent.txt was downloaded in that round, and SVIFT have it. So, I predicted 4-2. So, Ascent had really better get it together, or that's not going to happen, and we're going to a map 3.
That's right. This is coming straight down. This Marmaloo going very deep aggressive early. I do like that jump there. Got in their face. They forced them to kind of back off a bit. But now they need to find the kills. Slemnish has fallen early. That's a big scalp pick for Swift. And again, these soldiers seem to be flying around, but they haven't managed to find much of anything. Podolsky is going to take out aim. A couple kills coming in. Podolsky getting the Demoman as well. However, Nursey has fallen and Zilly has backed off, trying to stay alive. It should be a mid-win for Swift. They just need to deal with these remaining players, but they backed off and they're just getting mulched, eating the same spam. High-Five's in a lot of trouble. He'll go down. It's just Zilly trying to back off, and I think Mela might catch this.
Oh, the stick! Oh,
the stick!
The stick kill, there we go! I'm taken back to better days. And Mela manages to grab the now nerfed stick, and that will flip the tables a little bit. You will note that there is no Zilly, so spam is a factor right now. The health packs here are on the ground, really. That's the only really good medium health kit. So you can kind of walk up for free. They can't fight you at all, or they're sentencing themselves to death. Now, interestingly, Podolsky really charging the sniper, absolutely zero respect, and nothing bad happens to him. So I guess he knew exactly what was up, and the Uber is coming in right now off the left side into a full-grown 7th player, but it's dead.
Well, and they're out trying to find some more kills here. They need to find something with the Super, and in fact, they find 2 players very quickly. Both soldiers on Swift are down. There is still a big fat heavy that they need to deal with, and it's cleaned up. Ascent should win this round. Mulching them, clean wipe, don't drop a player. Beautiful push from Ascent to take their 2nd round.
Yeah, it's still 4-2, but that's a bad situation. We lost, if you're Swift, you lost your first mid, and you immediately lose the round with pretty strong force. So we'll see. This mid is gonna be huge for the flow of this game overall. Again, huge positional advantage. Hope you don't mind, Dreamboat. I want to take this one over. So
I want you.
Their standing passive right now is that Blaz is trying to jump forward. He's gonna do the merry-go-round with aim there, and aim is gonna try and steal a health kit, but there's nothing there. Corsair's over him. Both soldiers bomb right now. Swift are losing the point positioning. Corsair is gonna fall, but so is Zilly on the trade. Yeah, they got baited there. Uber is popped, and we're headed to a wipe, whippity wipe. That was really smart there from Ascent. They did a merry-go-round play where you bomb one soldier and get him out by bombing him behind. Some number of players are hungry for them frags, Dreamboat, and they're gonna chase that frag. Then you bomb another soldier onto the players that weren't quite as hungry, and then you win.
Well, we are in a spot because that Uber popped out. There is much less of an advantage for Nursey, so this isn't quite a set round, but it's still about 20%, which is very workable right now. If Ascent, you know, especially with them building it well, want to try and work quickly if they can catch Zilly in an unfortunate spot. I think we are going to settle down a little bit and have an even Uber situation, unless Nursey is that confident in their ad.
Well, they're really leading in here. I think they're going to pay for this one because Zilly has Uber right now. Not really playing like they believe that they do. But here we go. Podolsky bombed in hard. Nursey really committed and dies as well. There's not a lot. High Five is fighting with Corsa and losing right now. Yai is going to come in and save the day. Marmaloo will end up picking off High Five, though. Kind of makes this not quite as bad. And I think we're going to reset. Yeah. we're gonna reset here. Swift are not confident enough to push out here. Ascent spawns are really fast, and they're gonna come out onto the second point.
And here's the thing with, you know, even though Nursey died in that push, because the pop was so late from Zilly, the Ubers are almost even, despite Nursey being dead and having to spawn. Which is kind of funny. You don't usually expect that when you kill the med in the last push and don't kill theirs.
Yeah, and there's a good chance that nobody knows that. So, I don't know if that'll affect us any. Corsa is already on sniper, so Corsa ready to try and relive his process game where he got like 6 sniper frags in a row. They're trying really elaborate peek strats on this shutter door. He's not seeing anything. Goes for a quick scope, gets nothing. Trying to
peek around. Hard scoping right now, though.
Yeah.
He's got a line on absolutely nothing. You know, that might work if someone actually peeks him. But, you know, absolutely nothing, really. They're diligent. They know Corsa's on the other team. They're expecting a sniper. So common in this situation. And there is no peeking to be had.
He goes for the quick trigger there. Doesn't get anything. Gets hit as well. And my view is kind of screwed up, but I'm back now. Yeah, nothing really doing there for the Corsa sniper. They're even building a dispenser just to help out with the spam. And that really underrated. People, you know, the running meme in TF2 is dispenser down push. But they're really nice for your soldiers and demos to be able to spam. They do a switcheroonie with the sniper and then a bomb over to it. The plan was to bait somebody to bomb Corsa and then kill him with Marmalou, but nobody took the bait. Because so far Corsa hasn't really done any damage, so there's no reason to be afraid of him.
Yeah, Metalworks especially, there's a lot of spots that, you know, the sniper really has to overcommit on the peak. And speaking of overcommitting, that's what they do. They have Slemnish there to support them. They drop both Slemnish and Corsa. And here's the thing, with the sentry gun, that is actually going to be complete swap off. Swift are going to try and push out here, but it is even Ubers. They pop their Uber here. This could be disastrous. They popped it off. It's done a great job of milking by Nursey, as Mela really took no damage from high 5. So now they're going to be exchanging right back into this. They should find Zilly. Zilly with a nice surf out. And Mela is actually going to get most. The sticky from Badonsky will not connect. That looked like it could have been dire for Swift, but they will hang on another day.
Yeah, Zilly at 35 health. It's literally having a shotgun versus not. or a little bit more of a direct in one scenario. I think that developed so quickly that Ascent were not able to respond. Mela needed a flank or somebody there with him or some kind of pressure just to get that extra 35 DPS out. And it wasn't there. It was all Mela. And unfortunately didn't pan out for them. So here we go, trying to get this done. The hold right now from Swift is really strong. They've had struggles in this match, but I think they've got it together. Bot mode with the 7th player. There is not any off class either. Slemnish gets destroyed by Laz. Double sack, aim dies, but so does Marmalou.
Yeah, and I mean, Laz is going to try and come out here with a couple of the Swift players. Actually going to go through lower. He could land on top of Nursey, but he's not even going to get the chance to go for the jump. They've picked him off. Now actually, Ascent, they've taken a lot of ground after this. Are they actually going to go forward here? Corsa's walking straight through with Nursey. This is a very heavy commitment, and one, I really can't decide what they're doing. They're just sitting back and they're not doing anything.
Nursey is in the scariest position you can be in as a med, but they are getting aimed. They've taken over the bridge. They've crossed the bridge. Their Corsa is going to run in and get the force. Hopping over. This 7th player is invincible, though. It is... it's finally going to fall. Mako dies trying to save it. And now that's essentially 3 players down. I'll count it. Air shots are gone for, but not gotten. Aim will fall, and this is Ascent. Nobody just died, and they're gonna get it. What happened? I was just watching that play out, and I was assuming, oh yeah, Swift got this. Sentry gun is alive forever. The positioning wasn't terrible for Swift, And then Ascent just managed their heals so well there that they won that fight. And it's 4-3.
I'm so confused, but I'm so happy. That was the weirdest push. Nursey was in no man's land forever. And now, speaking of no man's land, Ascent have backed off, giving up a lot of space on this mid fight. They might just be giving this up completely, or baiting SVIFT into something, because this is a very passive mid. This is almost passive to the point of death. Finally, Mela comes in. He's going to go down. Marmalu's going to get a couple kills. Actually, that's Badonsky and Slemnish finding them. In a sense, they just waited out so long, bait SVIFT in, and then condense on them beautifully.
Yeah,
but they dropped their seat.
Passive strats work pretty well on this map. You've just got to be really careful to control your own flank. And SVIFT actually want to try to challenge right now. There are no heals out here, but this is one of those scenarios where, yeah, you can push when there are no heals, but it would be really nice to have a demo. And Badonsky has a huge advantage over them. Now they're going to try and repush. They got their demo. That is a Yite. And Yite is sort of leads the charge there for a second. They pop Scout Uber in. Unfortunately, even though Scout Uber lets you run a little faster, it does not teleport you through time and space. They do not get enough frag. And the push comes right back in. And they are getting blown up. What has happened to SVIFT? It's like Ascent turned it on here, but no! AIM is going to hit a huge wall shot, get 2 kills off of it. That'll go into frag video regardless, and they'll get the meta as well from bot mode. Oh, but Badonsky says, not so fast.
He's not done here either. He's just hanging around on this mid. He's going for everything in his power. Badonsky single-handedly maintaining it. And I do have to give a massive shout-out to Marmalu. He had a very nice jump into lobby, hit 3 crisp rockets, and managed to find Zilly. So despite them losing Nurseys, you know, Marmalu was enough to keep it, you know, in this situation where it's going to be even Ubers.
Yeah, and you hold mid. You're only down by a round. So this is really, if you had to be anywhere, this is a pretty good spot to be for Ascent. You've got, I would wager, around 13 minutes to negotiate this even Uber scenario into a last win. Your last pushes have been very strong. So all you have to do is figure out how to get an opening here to get your team in. What will they do? He's pushing. They're standing still. Let's see. They've got their. Something's gonna happen real soon here in Dreamboat.
Well, they're doing this thing that they did on that last push where they all just sit in one area and somehow don't eat any of the same spam. Slemnish finally did catch something, but now High Five's gotten very aggressive. That's honestly a feed from High Five. He eats a big pipe from Badonsky, and that's going to open things up for Ascent to take a lot more space here, working in through flank. Of course, is trying to find a kill on something. Here comes the farm from Marmalu. Raid on top of Zilly. They're going to condense on him. There's a scout right there, and it's going to be a drop. Badonsky with the sticky, dropping Zilly, and there should be a mulching. They just need to keep Nursey alive. There is last raid on top. Nursey doesn't want to pop this, and it's a drop too. That's a double drop from both medics.
Yeah, a double drop. The vaunted, rare. It's like seeing a unicorn or a double rainbow. But I don't. Whoa, the defense comes out right now. Scout 1v1 skills. MGE High Five is gonna win that one and saves the round. We saw the extremely rare double drop, which is pretty much as rare as the double wipe. And then MGE High Five wins the day. They're actually so confident. High Five is tight. He's trying to go. Lamo's gonna get Nursey and then die immediately, but Slemnish and Marmalu will fall to Yite and AIM. And they will recap that right away. Badonsky has all of Uno held. Is gonna try and escape now as well. A total reversal of fortune. I was like, oh no, we're headed to 4-4 here. And not so fast. Says High Five. So maybe he's really feeling it right now.
I'm still in shock over the double drop and what just transpired. Zilly bailed out by Laz getting that huge pick on Nursey. And now with that Uber ad, because Zilly died so much earlier, it's actually about a 50% ad. And because of that, SVIFT are walking forward here. They pop super early. Oh, a little bit bit unnecessary from Zilly, but they feel they can get in on some of these players. They're trying to find some kills, trying to find something. They have at least gained the space per second, and they will pick off Badonsky, so that is well done. But they are brawling out in lobby despite being at major Uber disadvantage right now.
Yeah, Badonsky was left kind of hanging out in the wind, but this Uber disadvantage is scary. The scouts can speed this Uber right into you. Nice juggle there. Tight doorway. The aim is going to fall. The Uber is popped. Laz is going to make the great escape, and they're actually going to secure Frank. They're in the back here. Bot mode is causing absolute havoc right now, and he's trying to... No, there's no way he'll win that. But tons of pushing from the rest of the team as well. Whoa, big soldier pick there from Laz. He's gonna die immediately, but it doesn't matter. Because they regained that position, they have huge, gigantic Uber advantage right now. They could win this round game right now.
Ascent made the big mistake of pushing out with Uber popping and not getting the kill. That's allowed Zilly to get his. They're popping right in here, trying to find something. They pushed a lot of Ascent back to spawn, but this Uber's actually done nothing. High Five and Aim are both gonna fall. Ascent's doing a brilliant job holding so far. Will they find the rest of these kills? They need to find a few more, but it's gonna be awful Swift on the next few kills. Mercy's out with the Uber saw, the only one alive, trying to stay alive, but will fall. It's going to be 5-3 for Swift, and we are going to map 3. We're going to Viaduct.
That is a dream come true. But I want to shout out, before we finish that last push from Laz's perspective, that's going to be good. I don't think that man hit a splash rocket through the whole thing. It was all fat directs. Laz turned on his Terminator future hacks and just totally directed everybody that he saw and obliterated people. Because Soldier, you know, maybe not the mobility scout, but if you hit a direct, that's a lot of damage. And he was just popping off and managed to secure the end, that particular end final push for his team with his damage. And I don't know that it would have happened without it.
Oh, yeah, I mean, Laz just went wild, and I felt for so long in that last hold that Ascent were going to hang on. Like, they went up, they had the 2-player ad there, sitting in a beautiful situation, and then it starts to fall. Laz hitting those directs, and then everybody on Ascent dies. Just like my belief in them on that hold, it just crumbled in a flash of a rocket, and now we are going to map 3. And I need to take a look at some of these stats, Marxist, because I see bot mode on 40 kills, #1 in the server, 24 assists, 23 deaths. He's having himself a game. And for good measure, 18 cap points, #1 in the server.
Excellent. Normally you don't see that either. Normally the capper is just not the top tier fragger, but not so tonight.
Yeah, and I mean, the other thing to look at is, like, you know, sometimes when you get a game like this, you're always curious, like, oh, is someone having a weak link moment? Like, is there anyone kind of holding their team back? No, all of these players are playing very well, and that's what's got this to be such a close brawl. The frags in the game on whole, 144 to 143. That's a 1 frag difference through 50 minutes of gameplay.
And 3,000 damage only as a difference. So that's not a ton. I mean, other differences, subtle statistical differences, is like, let's look at Zilly versus Nursey. Nursey, uncharacteristically, top deathing of the 2 medics, and it was only by 2, though. So you really can't read too much into that. And the other thing is that the stats suggest to me that Zilly was having to heal a lot more damage, even though SVIFT was the one taking it. So something is, and I think maybe that plays into the first half where Ascent were really off balance. But yeah, let's look at some other interesting stats here. What do we got? Marmaloo had some huge plays. I like to. So this is a great Romer moment. Team lost, but and 21 and 31. Ugh, does feel great. 182, but Marmaloo still had some big plays. I think that's what Marmaloo will take away from this. Also, 6 med picks, more than any other player in the server. So, like that. The thing for Ascent going into Viaduct is the machine basically works. You've just got to make sure that it doesn't go off the path.
Yeah, just gotta keep it refined, keep it running, make sure that the motor is in good condition, and see if you can tighten it, because they've got a lot of positives they can draw from. And the nice thing is they won a first maps, right? So there should be something there. But I always wonder, Marxist, you played a lot more than me, so you might be able to answer this question. In a best of 3, when you win the first map and lose the second map, is it easier? How much harder is it to win that second, or the third map after you drop the second map?
It depends on how you feel about that second map. The other thing is that for a lot of players, playing that third map, your mental fatigue starts to set in because you're just not. They have pre-game scrimmed this, so they've been playing probably. Let's pretend we're in Eastern. They've probably been playing TF2 since 10 p.m. Eastern, maybe earlier. And now we're at 1:40, almost 2 o'clock, and you're having to play at peak performance. So some people are going to succumb to either physical or mental fatigue. But I would write it off. If I were the team leader on Ascent, I would say, look, Metalworks, it just isn't our map. And we knew that going into it. If we won, great. If we didn't, oh well. But here's Viaduct, the tiebreaker of choice. The map that separates teams who understand how to play this game from teams that just have figured out 5CP real good.
Yeah, I mean, Viaduct is where you crown the king. This is who is going to face Froyotech, loser of this series. And really, it doesn't feel fair to even say that one of these teams is going to lose this series with how both teams were playing. Loser of them are going to face Velocity. Neither team's story is done yet, regardless of how this map goes, but there is still a lot to play for. Neither team want to burn their lucky extra life.
But yeah, we know Azazel. There's no one here yet. So I think do we want to kick it to music just to let it go while this thing sorts itself out?
Yeah, I feel like a little bit of music just to build some more hype would be good.
They're gonna have a talk. Both teams are gonna have a talk. You're gonna try to hype your players up, get them ready to go into this thing.
So music it is. DJ Azazel, take us away.
All right, we are back here. They're still kind of canoodling with each other, as the case may be, and doing a little bit of pregame, but all 12 players are here. It looks like, I think everybody's even moving, actually, in fact. So we'll see when this thing finally goes. But Viaduct, I love this map. After they took away my baby G-Pit, you know, we all have to lose our first love. I mean, most of us. But then there was Viaduct, and Viaduct is the map. And this thing, what makes Viaduct so special is if your team is tight, if they play really well together, if your comms work the way they're supposed to, if you've really put a lot of time into chemistry, all these buzzwords that you hear in every sport or esport or any other thing, Viaduct is what shows that. I mean, yeah, you can win matches on Viaduct if your DM is just way stronger than the other team. But with SWIFT and Ascent, that's not going to happen. We don't have that scenario. So this is going to show us which team is flat out the better team. Period.
And Marxist.
Yeah.
Do you have a team that you want to put
SWIFT!
your prediction on that? All right.
I predicted SVIFT to win this thing, despite you, despite Azazel, despite whoever else may be out there. I was wrong about the first map, right about the score, wrong about the winner. But SVIFT brought it back there on Metalworks. They managed to win enough mids to win the game.
Yeah, that's true. You know, and that's the thing, is their mid fights, like, we can't really talk about Gullywash. We didn't see it. Thanks, ESEA. But their mids were very strong on Metalwork. And if you think about Viaduct, it's just one giant mid fight, time and time again. So if Ascent can show some of the form that they started to pick up late on Metalworks, if their mids are good, if they can actually win a mid fight, that'd be good, because they might actually have a chance here. But if SVIFT, I mean, if they continue to be as dominant on fights for these like midpoint-esque things, which is all Viaduct is, they could absolutely roll them, and it really could go either way.
Yeah, so the deal behind this particular map, the mid is a little different from Metalwork. You just don't have quite as much positioning to gain, but you can still play passive and have it work. Oh, the thing I'm really interested in seeing here, Dreamboat, is every 4 to 6 months, the meta on how to play this map changes. From either really aggressive to super, super passive. And it's just like each team is kind of one-upping each other. And we'll see what we've got tonight.
Well, we are live. We have another working ESEA STV. We are here. And actually, it's on this ready up that we're live. I got ahead of myself. Happened.
Yeah.
There's 4 of them, you know. You get thrown off, you get 3, and you think you're good. But we are live now, and here we go into this opening on map 3. Winner gets a date with Froyo Tech in the upper bracket final. We are on Viaduct, SWIFT versus Ascent, and here comes Laz going deep super early to open this fight up. So is AIM, right in on top of Nursey, but it's Marveloo to get more of the kills first. Found a couple of them quite easily, quite quickly. We'll see if they can kind of convert this man advantage right now on Ascent. Both teams have heals, and it needs to be these scouts falling. Bot mode will go down. Zilly's trying to escape with his life, and I think he will, as will High Five. And that is a first mid-fight win for Ascent.
Yeah, but not a total loss. Zilly is gonna survive. And now we're going to see this sort of awkward re-push. There are a lot of different ways to approach this. You can go for a force like a standard map. You can try to go from kill to kill. You can try to just bully your way in. And right now, they're doing a pretty good job of that, but Zilly's taking a lot of damage, going to get forced. So they're going to go for a classic Uber exchange, except for the scouts. And Marmalou will end up dying. He's trapped in behind. Laz has no health whatsoever, but it's going to take an arrow and be A-okay. So that actually puts Ascent in the losing position. Their respawns are worse, but Slumnish is going to get that flick shot onto Laz. And now they're fighting over the point. Whoa, nice big shot from AIM there. Gonna secure the frag onto Corsa. Mela will fall on high five, and Bomb Mode will die as well. No frags coming out on the med though. That's really all that we wanted to see there, was whether Zilly would die. They're gonna cap that one off. Bot Mode is the only one with a delayed spawn.
Yeah, and I mean, now that they've got their spawns up, we'll see how they want to do this. They're walking forward, back in, trying to put pressure. Badonsky nailing stickies left and right. Doing a good job getting some early damage here into this fight. They really want to try and find Zilly. Marmalou's going to go deep. Mela actually is going to be taken out by Laz, and now Nursey's in trouble. Highbound's just running straight at them. It's just a demo, and there's a soldier there. That's AIM. Finds the kill. He finds 2 more just because, of course, Swift, well, they do get the Uber forced out. So it is, you know, not all lost, but still, beautiful job by Swift condensing on Nursey.
Yeah, I was never particularly great with numbers, but another thing you want to keep in the back of your mind here is that every time an Uber gets exchanged, we're probably not going to see a point trade for 30 seconds. So these timers are going to even up here. Ascent is trying to just bully them their way in, but Nursey is getting hurt pretty badly, so is Badonsky as well. Big Bomb comes in. I can't really see what's going on with that. Mela is going to die last. It's going to fall as well. Marmalou gets a pretty big shot, though, with the help of Corsa. And I don't think they're going to be able to bomb. AIM goes, whoa! Marmalou, Slumnish, and Corsa all die in the same fraction of a second. And they're rejected, and there's players in last. Going for Nursey, not going to happen. Huge attempt there from AIM. That made AIM has a slower spawn. So that's a little bit of an overreach there, but I totally approve of it. Aggressive play, I like it.
Sometimes you have to overreach to get the brilliant plays. He went for it, didn't work out, and now because of that, Ascent really want to try and come back in before he gets here. The Ubers are going to be exchanged off on this point. We're saying high five are the chariots for this Uber, but actually it's a bit of a split. Corsa is going to back off. It's all going to work out. Neither of these Ubers are going to find things. Finally, Bot Mode will pick off Slumnish, the only casualty, but now Yite has fallen in Swift. They might be overstaying their welcome, except for Laz killing the medic. They need to get in on Zilly. There's Mela right there trying to do it, but it looks like Zilly who will escape.
Yeah, I honestly think Swift could have held that. They were just a little undisciplined. They got that bomb from Marmalou in there, and 3 players chased Marmalou behind and turned their backs to the bulk of Ascent, and ended up dying to them. So we'll see. They're re-pushing this. Gonna try. Marmalou gets wiped out, and wow, Ascent is just getting crushed right now. And yeah, that's a point cap with point advantage and Uber advantage to Swift. You Ascent are on the rope. Their eyes are not quite right, and they're leaning back hard right now. Because, like I said, 30 seconds is that key number, and they haven't got it. Zilly's got Uber, so they could just hold this indefinitely.
Well, they're going to try and do what they can. They have 16 seconds left on the clock. Let Swift win the first round, so they're trying to move their way in here, trying to get some ground, trying to get a little bit of cap time into, but the Uber's going to be pop stop super early. It hasn't found anything yet. There's a soldier jumping around Mela trying to put some pressure in. No one's actually fallen on either side. The health is actually a little bit worse for Swift. However, they've done a great job churning out damage, finding these frags. Ascent trying to get on this point, trying to do something, but it's going to be the mulching. Swift hanging in just Nursey, and that is going to be round 1 to the boys from Swift NA.
Very strong show there. But they started out at a disadvantage, lost that first mid, and then worked their way back, got their 30-second advantage, and held on to it throughout. So here we go, another Viaduct mid. What are we gonna see here? they're trying to go for a faux bomb from Mela. He's going to actually take some spam, and that might put a hitch in the Giddy up there. But no, he's going to go. He's right in Yike's grill, but Yike is going to surf it back. A counter bomb comes out from AIM, gets nothing. Laz goes as well. High Five will clean up Adamski, but that's really the only frag that's going to go. You traded 2 soldiers for 1 frag. That's tough. And Corso wins the MGE fight against bot mode, and that will be the end of the mid for Swift. Again, another victory for Ascent. If they just keep the boat going in the right direction.
Well, they do move in, and AIM finds Badonsky with relatively no pressure on him in that, and that's going to allow a lot more space in case Swift want to take this Uber exchange. Nursey pops off first. There was a flash on the Melee to try and keep him alive, but they've dropped Slemnish in this entire fight. Yike going down is a little bit better for Ascent, but really they're just bleeding players, not able to find anything, and it is going to be a point cap, or at least it should be here for Swift.
Yeah. When you hold the point, your spawn timer is worse. So you really can't afford to sack players and then expect to hold in the aftermath. And Ascent they let too many key players be exposed there. Badonsky kind of wandered forward a little bit, and there's no holding that afterwards. You can try and buy 8 seconds with Uber, but that really, in the grand scheme of things, I don't think that's going to make a huge difference.
Well, Marmaloo is already in behind right now, causing a bit of a distraction, and that's forced a lot of players back. They trade Marmaloo for Yite, and that's a very good trade. Laz has been taken out as well, AIM in a lot of trouble. Ascent are doing a good job in this fight. Bot mode wins the MGE against Slemnish, and now the trades have come forward a little bit better for Swift. They've taken out both scouts for Ascent, but they will concede point and should be reaggressing here shortly.
Yeah, again, with the respawns the way they are, Swift sacks players. As long as you at least trade, you're winning. So that's essentially what they accomplished there. And they're going to feed this Uber in. High Five is the Uber player. Marmaloo tries to jump behind, but he gets eaten up the whole way through and really accomplishes nothing. But they will trade out. Laz and Bomba will both die. That's essentially the flank just completely done. Looking at the respawn screen. And Ascent are holding this one very competently as they head into the... We're getting into the 30-second, 40-second advantage territory. And like I said, Uber exchanges account for about 30 seconds overall, unless there's a drop. So you want to get this one down.
Yeah, I mean, they are trying to brawl this out here on the flank right now. Both of these scouts are quite lit on Swift, but they actually managed to find the kills. Everybody, in fact, is crumbled on Ascent. Nursey still will live, though, so it is going to stay even at Ubers, but the point will go back to Swift's side. They have 2 minutes to churn off on the clock. Ascent only have a minute, so there's a little bit of an advantage for Ascent here, but it's not too much of one.
Yeah, if you're trying to win this one outright for Ascent, you got about 30 seconds to screw around with. So they're going to pop this Uber in, hope for a trade. There it goes. So this next 30 seconds of our lives is just ennui. But no, Nursey gets caught out. So no, the existentialist dream does not happen. And we're just going to have a straight up DM fight now. Flanks onto the med. Shot, but actually blocked by a scout. Hero random key press. I think that was a D. A random press of the D key saves the day for Swift.
Gonna press the X key as well, and now they are trying to get back in here. Ascent, they need to kill the medic here, need to get in on him. Marmaloo's did a great job of getting damage, and now both Laz and Bot Mode have fallen. They only managed to lose Marmaloo in this fight. That's forced a lot of players back, and they actually are gonna get cap time off of this. Nursey shouldn't get the Uber out of this, but it's gonna allow this to become a lot more even fight. We'll see if Nursey can kite and get up on that Uber before Zilly pops in.
Well, and AIM's death there is pretty poor. The of all the calls I ever made on Viaduct, the one that I repeated the most was, if you're gonna die, die. Whoa! And Melee got put on blast there. He has been getting rocked tonight in some pretty embarrassing scenarios, but it's having good games still anyways. But unfortunately, this looks like no, Zilly's gonna make the greatest escape. I don't think it matters though, because again, we're back into that 30-second timer. Ascent have everything going for them.
And now the bombs are coming straight forth. Laz and AIM getting in there. They do pick off Badonsky. That's a massive pick. Ascent are trying to hang on. There's 11 seconds on the clock right now. So if they're trying to back out a little bit when they can, bot mode eats a big rocket. But with 5 seconds left, Swift needs to get in here, get going forward. They're trying to get some pressure in, but they drop by 5. Jet goes down, and they're not going to get on the point. That is going to be the cap. We're tied 1-1, just as we are in the series.
Yeah, and that hurts that you lose that one by a minute. That's 2 blown Uber pushes, and essentially that's what we saw. So we're headed back in another Viaduct mid. Donsky gets early stickies out, but nothing huge. Corsa actually taking a lot of damage early, but it's counterbalanced by bot mode. Double bomb comes down, but Zilly and Aimer both gonna fall, so is Jack. And whoa, Melee's gonna get bot mode as well. He dies immediately after, but Laz and High Five go down, and that's a total whippity white only for Melee. And you know, people like Melee. He casted land, but I would trade Melee for 6 players.
I would make that trade as well. He's not Eric Lindros. You know, it's not worth trading 6 for him. So he is going to fall. And now the time is going to start turning down here for Ascent. They're going for a bit of the old school forward hold right now. We'll see if Swift can break out. They're trying to get forward, get in there, and they're going to drop AIM for it. And in fact, the scout's quite low. Once again, they pick off Melee. This time they only drop 3 players for him. And again, I think Ascent will take that trade.
Yeah, I think they'll take it every time. And this old school forward hold, this is what I mentioned in the pregame, like, some seasons we don't see this at all, and I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the alignment of the planets, or the moon, or whatever. Well, actually they screwed it up. So perhaps they broke this strat out. They opened up the old Dusty Tone and said, wow, that forward hold stuff used to be really good. Let's try it. And then they screwed it up. So what can you do is when you try to make your grandma's recipes, and the Ubers are exchanged, but it is so much better for Nursey. I think they're just going to say, great, we have a much better Uber and backup.
This is really getting into gut check time. I mean, if this round is starting to churn down, Swift haven't managed to get a cap yet. Now we're only down to a minute and a half left for Ascent. They're trying to brawl out on this point. A soldier is going deep. That's Melee and Marmalou. Slemnish is in on Dilly. He's gonna find that kill. Laz going down as well. Ascent just winning the DM fight right now. Slemnish somehow living. I think that rocket ate a pixel. Did no damage, but Nursey will survive. Swift looking to crumble. Ascent are playing so strong. And now this is really gut check time for Swift. This is where they need to step up. This is where legends are made.
Wow. In my, if I were the team leader on Swift, I'd be saying we can still win this. But in my heart of hearts, I would know this is done. Like, chances are we're not winning this one. And AIM just super commit. Uber force. That's another 30 seconds. We're gonna have about 18 seconds to play with here. To try to we're gonna, all right, Dreamboat, you and me, we're gonna have 18 seconds to try to take 3 minutes of clock time. That's really not gonna happen unless Ascent just has a complete meltdown. So we're gonna go ahead and be okay with this 2-1 and try not to let it get us down. That's what I would think in my heart of hearts right now.
Well, Swift, they've managed to find the kill onto Slemnish. Marmalou's in a lot of trouble. 3 minutes is a big ask, but they are starting to find these kills, and they are going to get the cap. Nursey's going to get this Uber back up, but while it is a very big ask, it's not done yet.
Well, we got time on the clock. There. That's a moral victory. So, now, back in the day, the meta was, if you're down a bunch of time, you need to play really aggressive and hope to get super lucky. But they're actually baiting the super, and they're going to get it in time. So they get the half-second gift from the gods, and they're going to wipe out Ascent. There we go. Ascent a little overconfident there, but again, they got 2 minutes. You can go for the big plays, the big hero plays. Oh, wow. Yeah.
smacking Yite down with a big fat air shot, saying goodbye to the Demo Man. Now that's actually going to allow Ascent to try and walk back in here. They've killed Zilly, they've killed Bobo too. They're going to wipe them all, and they're going to claim the round. 2-1 for Ascent.
Yeah, you know, for all the times that you've hit an air shot in your life and it just it seems to affect the game, not at all. There's that air shot where it completely flips the fight and your team wins.
Well, Marxist, we are into a pivotal round right now. SVIFT, can they tie this game up at 2, or will they fall down to 3-1? Here comes Marmaloo bombing deep once again, as is Mela. The counter jump's coming in right now from SVIFT, and they're the ones finding the kills. They picked off Nercy, Badonsky, and Slemnish. Zilly is still alive, dancing around at this point, trying to stay alive. Mela's right in there, whips the rocket, cannot find the skill stick, and this time Ascent wipe, losing only Laz.
There was a shotgun involved in that. But I'll leave my own biases aside. But yeah, they're gonna pull this one out. You want to see that. This Uber advantage is big as well. You're gonna hold this for 30 seconds unless you just like totally melt down and don't do anything right. So that's a huge advantage. If they negotiate this correctly without some sort of disaster befalling them, they've got a minute. Then you only have 2 minutes left to win it. Whoa, they're gonna pop right here. Med's gonna get forced, but I think they're negotiating this okay. Laz died, but he's just the roamer. And we've got the classic Boston Basher Corsa build back there at last. And so now they have to weather the storm. But like I said, they've got a minute. That's
yeah, every time you can take a minute, you can't really complain, can you? But we do have the push coming in here. Ascent, they are going to pop very early. Of course, they're trying to get forth. Zilly should be able to escape. They're just going to leapfrog the Uber. This is actually quite all right for SVIFT if you are a SVIFT fan.
Yeah, they overplayed their hand there. And this is exactly what you want as SVIFT, actually. You, whoa, aim though. Yeah, aim does, he knows they're super extended and overplays his hand there. And now it's really, High5 has got to get this frag. Okay, he did it. All those hours of DM and MGE, they mattered. And that, as you can see, there's quite a bit more than 30-second advantage here. But the Uber is in play for Zilly, so we're just gonna take that 30 seconds. It's gonna be a minute before anything important happens. Unless gigantic, huge Michael Jordan-esque plays are made by Ascent.
Yeah, you know, I was looking to see maybe there was a crit streak on the field. No, it is even Ubers right now. Nercy's managed to get hers up, and they're trying to pester in, trying to posture, and they get the early force out. Zilly, I'm not sure that was really needed, but the pop comes out from Nercy to follow up, and they're going to find aim. They are actually going to win this fight. Yite's in a bit of trouble, getting a nice arrow from Zilly, keeping him alive, but Baylor's getting right in on the medic. He's going to find that kill. He'll find the demo as well with the help of Marmaloo, and it is just bot mode on 14 HP. Baylor's getting down by bot mode, but he's going to find the kill regardless, because of course Mela will.
I'm going to pull out the 8mm film here. So you can just imagine that noise that they make. Well, actually, our viewers may be too young to know. But, Dreamboat, you were a scout player. I was a medic. The objective on Viaduct is to never die as a medic, and there was a heavily exposed medic in a winning situation there. We've got a minute and 10 advantage right now for SVIFT, our losers right now. And they just stuck with it when they didn't need to. And that is a heartbreaker. Zilly hung in there. But Zilly had great faith in his team. Said, I bet we can win this. When they never could. And it may end up costing them their advantage. Laz is going to die. Yeah, bot mode's going to die as well. They're trying to break out, but they can't. And now they're going to get Uber. And they're going to have a 6-second wait for aim. That's the second time that he's died too late. And this is going to burn down. We're going to see even times. And Nercy might have Uber. Yeah, High5 died. He tries to get out and dies, and that's gonna be, well, they're all dying now. So whoa, man, under threat, gonna force the 3 down. This is a disaster, absolute disaster. Ascent are rubbing their hands together and having a good old chuckle right now.
That said, Swift have found a couple kills here. They're trying to salvage this any way they can, and now Laz getting raided on Earth. He pops up, gets the kill, Laz. That is absolutely massive. The point will fall, or it should fall, as these 2 scouts are running rampant here. This is going to be Slemnish. He actually gets a nice meat shot into high 5. Can he actually win this 1-1 with bot mode too? Slemnish not going to go that wild. But they don't actually find the cap here. They need to just step on it. Finally, they will. And oh, the air sticky. Wiping out that player coming sailing forward.
Wow, they really turned that. I thought that was just the end. But they really turned it around there. And now we're going to have no Ubers really in play ever. And teams are just going to have to go. Bot mode is going to be the first to fall. Melee will secure that right. They're going to come around the left side and bomb in. Melee feels he's rejected. The Uber is popped off. That's going to blow 30 seconds off the clock here.
And they get Nursey with the Uber.
Oh, man. Nursey was trying to help the team. Laz is going to get the frag with the stick, the completely balanced stick. And that is, well, I don't think there's any way they can decap this. But sometimes with respawns, you can end up in a weird scenario here. But that's not going to happen. And we're going to tie this one up. Respect 2-2.
Unbelievable. You know, you feel like that round was slipping. Ascent started so strong. You thought this was going to be 3-1. No. Swift, they're resilient. They survived. They tied it to Marxist. And now we're into the pivotal round. Take it away.
All right. So we're seeing the typical spam. Yikes. Taking a ton of damage. Going to take that arrow. All right. Now teams are getting tight. It's 2-2. There is a halftime in American COD. And the point positioning right now for SVIFT is taken by both scouts. We're going to see who has played the most DM mod, who feels comfortable going in. AIM is going to try to go in. They almost completely capped the point, but they sacked both soldiers on the back end of it, and Uber is popped off. But Zilly now, huge, better, much better Uber. That's, well, and then bot mode over makes sense, and now everyone dies. So, I was feeling really good about that, and I was gonna make some kind of a joke, Dreamboat, but then the mistakes happened.
And, you know, it is a tie game right now, but I feel like the mistakes tend to be coming in from Swift more frequently, so even though it is close, there's a lot that Swift could tighten up, and I feel like they've gotten almost lucky to be tied in this game.
That whole last round was like a miracle. Befitting the Easter season. Bot mode and AIM are going to try to break out. They die. Pro tip. If you ever get forward held by a team, don't push out that middle door. It's bad. The whole hold is designed that if you push out that middle door, your whole career, your whole life will be ruined. There we go. They learned to push out the left side, and I think they're going to be okay now. No, they're too slow. AIM is going to die, and there's an MGE, a top-tier fragger there in Corsa, but he will finally fall as well. They're going to push out Corsa for a soldier. I think that's an okay trade. We're going to see an exchange. Classic with scouts right now. And, whoa, big bomb from Soldier, and he's going to die against the ground. Laz got launched into space. He went up there with Mir and the International Space Station and the moon. But, yeah, now still trading out. But Ascent, the point holders, are getting the better end of it. And they've got a minute and a half advantage.
Well, Swift, they are going to try and wrench this point away from them at some point here, doing what they can to wrench it away, and they're just going straight forward. But Mela, he finds Silly. How does he get that kill? Wyatt, are you kidding?
And he died in the effort. That's the ultimate roamer play. Mela may be playing different, but he started out as a roamer, and that is the ultimate play. If you look under roamer, it says kill yourself, get medpick. And that's like step one of Baby becomes a roamer, and man was he ever good at that in that scenario. So this is the darkness coming for SVIFT right now. He had a great round, they brought it back. We've seen them, although the meme, right, Dreamboat, the meme. We've seen them win these before.
It is a quality meme, but right now it's a mulching. It's just Yite here, and Marmaloo's gonna hit the direct. He's on a casual 6K right now, just doing all kinds of work for his team. The spawn camp is coming in. They're literally doing this. Badonsky finds 2 kills on the high 5 and aim. Bot mode is on Pyro, trying to break it. Chang went on Sniper. They have no answer. It's just a mulching. This is a nightmare for SVIFT. The BM from Ascent, and it's not gonna matter. It is going to be a clean 3 minutes to none. Wow.
Yeah, if I had to rank ways to go into halftime,
that'd be a pretty low one.
That would be clear at the bottom. So SVIFT are gonna need to have a chat. They need to have a talk about how their mids are going. They need to have a talk about how their comms are working out. Again, like I said, we're now at 2 a.m. A lot of these players at Eastern, a lot of these teams are not used to playing this late. So we're in a scenario where mental and physical fatigue are becoming a factor, and maybe your comms are slower than they normally are, or maybe someone isn't listening as much as they normally do. And so you're getting players who are exposed, and you can't do that on Viaduct. And that's why, you might wonder to yourself, if you're newer to this game, or maybe you've watched some casts and you go, wow, Viaduct is really cool. Why aren't there more Koth maps? Well, it's partly because none of them work like Viaduct does. Like, Viaduct was perfect from the start, and we've just never been able to recapture that romance. And that there's just something not quite right with the way SVIFT are playing this. And Ascent have really taken advantage of it so far tonight.
Well, and I wonder, I mean, down to the wire right now, how much does the fact that, Mela and Badonsky have been around forever, how much does that experience help them out here, Marxist?
A ton. So, this, people hate Badlands because the players who are old are really good at it. And Viaduct kind of falls into that tier, but we are seeing in mid now. This is live. Big bomb comes out from Laz. Another big bomb from Amy. He's going to get Sundish. The rare scout kill, but got it. Whoa! Laz just says, I'm done with losing.
The control point is being captured.
Gut check time happened, but it's Ascent somehow winning this fight. Marmaloo with a nice 2K of his own. And while it looks like it was going to be all SVIFT on the back of Laz Heroics, Marmaloo and Mela say, hey, we're here too. Let's win this mid. And in fact, Ascent somehow pulled that out.
Yeah, it was almost a trapdoor play with Mela just kind of hanging out waiting. And so Laz came in, made big plays, and then he was trapped. So here we go. Big even Uber fight. Nursey, though, the very first step, spot mode just has to hold W and left click. But then Zilly overstaying the welcome there. Too much of a good thing. Badonsky will die afterwards, and this is just a crazy DM fight. But yikes, bang, with the pipes. And now, look at this. This is some meta stuff. They wait for Zilly to respawn, because if you cap that point before Zilly spawns, Zilly gets the maximum timer. So you want to have your medic before you let that happen. But we're going to see another fight. It's essentially a refight of mid right now, Dreamboat.
Yeah, they are trying to get straightforward in there. Marmaloo's gone deep once again, as has Laz. In fact, Laz is going to be the only one to die so far. And have dropped the scout here. Now they have no scouts. So this heavily favors SVIFT, and I think Nursey's going to try and back out the soldier in on that. That was aimed, not going to be able to find that one. The scouts still trying to get in there, trying to find the kills. Instead, Nursey will live. So that could have been very bad, but it manages to be not that bad for Ascent.
Yeah, you know that sensation when you're walking in the dark up a set of stairs and you think there's one more step, but there isn't, and you take that big step? That's what AIM did just then. AIM thought for sure he would have some kind of support, and it just wasn't there, and they missed the Nursey frag by like 20 damage or so. Now the Uber is popped off. Nursey just now gets it, and Zilly is super exposed. Can he surf out? He's trying to get out. No! The big bomb from Mela. Mela will secure that frag. And he might die to a scout, but who cares? Whoa, no. Laz, though. Laz! He wants to play pro, yo. Laz is determined. He is going to carry this team, whatever it takes.
Oh, dear Lord, Laz. We'll find that they do drop a couple players, so now Ascent are going to be trying to walk back in here. But huge plays from the roamer from Swift. But they can. Swift are actually staying their way into this, and that could be a bit of a mistake. They do elect to back off, give up the space, and Ascent will be able to recap this point. They've got a full minute left for Swift, 2 minutes left for Ascent. They're doing a good job turning the clock, Swift have.
Well, you figure, if you're Swift, you figure 30 minutes is long, and 30 seconds, so 30 minutes is too much. 30 seconds is lost to you. So, you're going to try to get this to 1:30:30. That's what you want to have happen here. Unless something really great happens. Laz and bot mode are isolated. They're being pushed right now on the right side, and Sumner's just coming after them. But now the Uber comes in onto the midpoint. Mela is going to die to Laz. Again, Laz trying to get Swift going here. Swift now have point control. The recap is coming in now. They're going to block. Yeah, trying to make the big play. Standing on the point all by himself, exposed. He's going to die. Laz will go down to it. And with that kind of... That is going to end that there. But, as I said, a minute to 30. That's all you're shooting for here, and so far they're on pace for that.
And the hero play with that Uber was the fact that they managed to deny the cap for so long. What would have been a cap with about a minute left for Swift turned into 30 seconds for Swift. It was a brilliant job churning that down. Now in an even Uber situation, it gives them a lot more time to play with. Can they pull this off, Marxist?
Well, they really don't have any other choice. They've got a minute to win it, essentially. They need to hold this. Laz is going to go. They're going to...
Oh, Nursey! Nice to aim!
They decided to... Look. All right. They decided to blow 30 seconds on a sack with a minute left. Okay? Can we appreciate that for a second? They said, we're going to have 30 seconds to win this game. They went for the sack anyways. Get it. And now they're pushing back in to tie this game.
That was a massive drop. AIM got on Nursey, a big +2. And now that allows them to push back in here. Zilly has that Uber. But Zilly drops Mela with the air shot. Are you kidding? +2s left and right. There's still going to be a brawl. It looks like Swift are going to get this point as they are bullying Ascent back into the corner. But this is so pivotal. That drop is so huge. Nursey is up to 50% Uber. And now Swift needs some hero plays if they want to stay alive. Remember, if Ascent win this round, it's game over.
Okay. So I mentioned earlier, spawn time. They capped that while Zilly was still in respawn. No! The drag comes in! Laz is the hero of this game. Laz is an absolute god-tier player right now, but no! It's coming in! His effort is for nothing because the scouts win this. No, they can't! It's over! Ascent are gonna grab this one in overtime. They're gonna try to decap it. Laz will have one more chance to drag his team into upper bracket finals. AIM is gonna be the sacrificial lamb. He'll die. Here comes Laz. No, he trades out. And that's it. Ascent are gonna win this one. And they will face Froyo in the upper bracket finals.
Unbelievable drops, the huge med picks, players going massive. It's everything you could have possibly wanted. And because of that, Ascent close it out 4-2, push themselves to the upper bracket final, and now SVIFT need to play Velocity for their ESEA lives. Wow.
Indeed. Okay. Every time we play that third, it happens so rarely. I want to impress upon you right now, if you're viewing this and you're newer to our game, third maps happen very rarely. There have been entire seasons where we do not get a third map, and that was an exceptional game. It was down to the wire. Both teams were so tight, and now it's on Ascent. Can they beat Froyo? Can they give us a game? And can SVIFT come back? They're going to go down, face Velocity, a super good team. Honestly, in my opinion, if I was a betting man, I like Velocity a lot. So those games are going to be great. And that is going to come to you real quick here. Not tonight, but soon.
Soon indeed. In Marxist, I think we need to take a look at some of the statisticals for this game. Slemnish with 45 kills. Corsa was the next highest there as well, doing all kinds of work for his team. But the med picks were huge on so many of these players. Laz, Aim, Mela, and Marmalou were the ones who really stood out, is just getting the absolute insane med picks every single time. Both medics sat even at 18 Ubers in one drop, and man, those drops are massive.
Yeah, like I said, the objective as med going into Viaduct is to never die. Because every time you die, it resets that timer at 30 seconds against your team. So if you do the math, 3 minutes, 30 seconds, you can really only die 6 times without their med dying. Otherwise, you'll totally lose the game. So, as we'll see here, Nursey, 13 deaths. Zilly, 16. That's 3 sets of 30 seconds where they were totally hopeless. There was nothing they could do there. And although, while that is not 3 minutes, that hurts real bad. So, yeah, the stats here overall, what I want to see, though, what I want to call special attention to is what makes the cockles of my heart feel warm inside, Dreamboat, and that's that Badonsky. 409 DPM. The demo on Viaduct says you can nerf my stickies, you can buff Scout over and over again. It doesn't matter, baby.
And that's a huge difference when you look over and see Yite sitting at 287. Badonsky was just kind of out there ramming stickies down his throat. And, you know, Yite just wasn't there where he needed to be to match that. Beautiful play from Badonsky. So many huge picks. It was wild from him. He had a great game. Everyone in the server, to be honest, had an insane game. This series was like the gift that kept on giving, with the exception of the first map.
Yeah, the first map didn't give it all. It was a disaster for us on the cast. But I mean, the things I would like to take away with this that'll stick with me is Badonsky is still, he's on that Viaduct. Corsa's sniping was not as effective as we've seen it in the past. Maybe that'll come up later. And Laz is way better than I gave him credit for. And his stats don't show it. I wanted to point that out as well. If you look at the stats, Laz is the worst player in the server.
Oh, yeah, that's not true.
And that is not true. Laz did so much for SVIFT. But that's, if you're a newer player, keep that in your mind. The stats aren't always what matter. Laz had so many huge impact plays for SVIFT, and it didn't turn out at the end of the day. Let's see. Did Marmalou? No, Marmalou did not maintain supremacy on med picks. It actually went to Aim. and last. So nobody else got any med frags though, so that kind of hurts. But yeah, I don't really see a ton else out of the statistics. One thing that does surprise me kinda is the number of assists for the scouts here. Do you see Corsa sitting at 29?
Oh my god.
Look, Corsa's frags were getting stolen left and right. And let's find out who the culprit was. I'm gonna guess that it was Marmaloo.
Yeah, good old Marmaloo. I mean, he didn't have the highest DPM out there, but he still dropped 24 kills. That's probably a pretty solid guess. Melee as well, I think, might have seen both soldiers stealing some of them, but Corsa had himself a day, that's for sure.
And then, well, let's see. Now that the joy of a great TF2 game has passed us for a second, when is this next match coming up? When is our next casted match?
We don't actually know. So the ESEA bracket thingamabobby doohickey says on the 5th of April is when the next two matches are. That is scheduling dependent. So depending when Froyo and Ascent decide to schedule their match, depending when Velocity and SVIFT schedule theirs, I'll tell you something. We will be there for it at TFTV. It may not be me and you, Marxist, but it will be someone somewhere. I hope it is us too.
Well, and there's also IM and Open playoffs too. And I want to make a public announcement that I would like to cast those. So you put the pressure on the people that matter, community. I will cast them.
Everybody get on Twitter and start spamming at CornPop16. He is the man who can make the magic happen.
But all right, before we say anything controversial, Dreamboat, I think that's it for us tonight. So quite a number of viewers tonight. Really happy about that. Do you have anything to say?
Nothing special. Just thank you guys for joining us on this fantastic game. I do want to give a quick shout out to a couple good friends out there in chat. Of course, Corn Pop doing a brilliant job scheduling everything. And a couple friends, Jazz Butts and Vec out there I saw, as well as Marxist. It is a dream come true every time I see that I am casting a game and your name is there next to mine. So thank you for being a great co-caster.
Well, I felt like I talked more tonight than usual, but also I'll give one last shout out to Azazel. Azazel was our camera tonight. Azazel does not like casting late night games, and this is late night. It's 2:30. So kudos to Azazel. Came in for the save, got the S, and I think we put on a pretty good show. So thank you, Azazel. You stepped in when we needed you, and we can't be thankful enough for that. So until next time, hopefully it'll be some invite, IM, or open playoffs, and it'll be real soon. I promise.